Remember this chick? Remember she is a page turner. So I guess she's going viral today. She's been going viral on Twitter. So I've already done many videos on this lady. This is the chick that be encouraging broads to divorce their husbands, even if they're doing everything, even if he's a good man. You know what I mean? So talking about domestic labor and mental workload. This is the chick. So she has this 5-minute video. Well, it's not going to be 5 minutes here, obviously, but I'm going to play a video, which I will be kind of pausing throughout, but not that much. She is going to talk about why she considered divorcing her husband at one point in the marriage, even though he was the perfect husband and he was doing everything good. I want you guys to pay attention to this, particularly to the young men that are still, considering marriage in the United States. So please pay attention. And I think I might have to up the speed on here. There we go.
I've been with my husband for almost 20 years, but about 3 years ago, I was strongly considering divorce. And I want to talk to you about why. So I'm going to tell you the story of the day where I thought to myself, maybe I don't want to do this anymore. My husband and I had 4 kids. We both worked full time. We had been together for 16 years at this point. We've been together since high school. And on paper, I have an amazing husband. He is incredibly supportive. He's kind. He's loyal. He's a great dad. He's very hands-on. He's an active participant. He's always present. Like on paper, what else could I ask for? But in reality, my experience.
But this is what happens, because people don't understand when women get together and talk, particularly when women are getting together and talk, they're just complaining about their husbands or complaining about their significant other. That's all they can connect on. That's all they can connect on. So this is why, like, usually when I see broads with their friends, and I would, especially nowadays, people get mad. I'll be like, oh, they talking about nothing again, are they? People get mad when I say that, but they're usually talking about nothing and usually lying on their baby daddy, lying on their husband's name. This is what they do, most of them. Because if I'm talking about if their husband is doing everything right, there's really nothing else to talk about. They have nothing else productive to talk about.
Experience is very similar to the experience of other women. I had this amazing husband who on paper was great, but I was incredibly frustrated and burnt out from our marriage and from motherhood. Because what happens to so many of us is that we marry these amazing men and we have amazing relationships, and then we have kids. And when we have kids, women tend to carry a disproportionate amount of the work in the home, the work of raising kids, and the mental load. And that is exactly—
oh Lord, the mental load, what we keep hearing, the domestic labor, the hidden cost of the domestic labor for women. Have you ever considered? They always keep talking about how women are getting burnt out, or wives are getting burnt out. How about the men? You think they ain't getting burnt out? You think they're not struggling with stuff? You don't think they need surgeries that you end up finding out later, and so you end up forcing them to have it, but they end up postponing a lot of their health issues. I mean, bruh. And even if she didn't work, she would be complaining about the same thing. Please, don't even take it as, oh, it's because she works. No, because we've shown you videos of women that didn't have to work and they were still complaining about, the domestic labor at home and raising the kids at home is a mental, all this nonsense. They just don't want to do nothing, bro. They don't want to do nothing. They just want to stay home and do nothing. And even the ones that do have a man that's making that kind of money where she doesn't have to do nothing, it's still going to be something. It's still going to be something.
Exactly what happened to us. About 3 months after my 4th baby was born, I remember looking at my husband and saying, I need more. I need you to do more. I'm exhausted. I'm in charge of everyone and everything in this house. Every night when we cook dinner, you ask me what to make. Every day when you drop off the kids at daycare, you ask me what they need in their backpacks. I am the project manager of this home and I need you to do more. And he looked at me and he said, okay, just tell me what to do. Right? Every woman has heard this. Just tell me what to do and I'll do it. And I said, okay, something that would make my life easier is if in the mornings when I came downstairs with the 4 kids, because I do mornings by myself, the dishwasher was emptied, the dishes were put away, and the trash was taken out. That would make my life so much easier, because when I've got the 4 kids running around and the baby crying, I can't be looking for their favorite water bottle in the dishwasher. I just need to know it's clean. And he said, yeah, of course. What? Yeah, I'll do that. That's no problem.
This is what a lot of men do, mind you. I would say most men do this, particularly in marriages today. Let's keep it above. Most men are doing it. They'll just like, okay, what do you need me to help with? And they'll do it. And but it's still not. It's not what men don't understand is it's never going to be enough. it's never going to be enough. Trust me, it's never going to be enough.
And so of course he does it, but then I have to remind him, and then he forgets. And then I have to remind him again. And there was this one morning where I woke up and I went to put something in the trash, and it was overflowing. And I went to get my son's water bottle, and it was in the dishwasher with all the other clean dishes. And I felt so disrespected and unseen and unvalued at that point in time. And I remember texting my husband being like, what happened? Like, why didn't you do this? And he said, sorry, I was running late for work. And I remember thinking, oh my God, he doesn't see me. because what he's done has now made me late for work. And he doesn't care about that. He doesn't care about the impact on me. And he doesn't see how every single thing in our home happens because I asked him to do it, or because I do it myself, or because I planned and organized it. The diaper bag is full because I filled it, right? I put the wipes in there. And I felt so frustrated. And I remember thinking, what's the
Well, first of all, what people don't understand, when you're living with women in general, I think even most men will even admit this. They've probably had similar experiences with their mothers, where you miss you like, it'll be like a couple days in a row, whatever. As a son, you'll make a mental mistake. You forgot to take out the trash, or you forgot to do this, and then she will just lose her mind. But you'll be a kid. You know what I mean? You're just like, I forgot. My bad. I'm sorry. you know. So that happens when you're living with women. And then if you have a girl, like, it'll be like one night you forgot to do something. Like, say you forgot to lock the door. But you know, like, your girl is coming home, so you know she got it anyways. She'll probably lock the door, or whatever. She'll spaz on you instead of being like, "Hey, yo, I had to lock the door. Make sure you can't be forgetting that. Like, this is our home and blah blah blah." She'll spaz on you for not locking the door. Like straight up, just OD spaz on you, and then start telling other people. I'm talking about you'll forget to lock the door once or twice, and then she'll start telling everybody else, like in your family, "Oh, he be forgetting to lock the door," and shit. Or instead of just having your back and just locking the door and just telling, "Hey, baby, you gotta lock the door." And moms will do stuff like that too, or they'll just tell everybody in family that you forget to lock the doors, or whatever. And it'll just be like once or twice you forgot to do it, and it was just only because of a change of a routine. It was just a routine change. You forgot something because it was late. It was like the couple nights that you came home late because of work or because of something, and you just messed up your routine. So you just had you made a mental mistake. So let's take it back to even just like dishes, doing the dishes. All that is slight work at the end of the day. That's just light work. That when we even talk about, cooking, cleaning, and all this stuff, these things, women were doing it in the past, not because they were the best at doing it. It was because it was slight work, right? Men were doing literally everything else. So they're just like, okay, women, since you're at home, perhaps you could take care of, this stuff at the house. Basically, you're the manager of the house while I'm not here, right? Even though I'm the boss, but you're the manager of the house. And that's kind of how it was. But at the end of the day, it's slight work. I can delegate that responsibility to somebody else if you really don't want to do the job. But, a lot of women have taken it to the point where, because she's doing the slight work, but the man is not doing the slight work as consistent as she is, then somehow that makes us obsolete because we can't do the slight work, or because we forgot to do the slight work. You know what I mean?
the point? What's the point of doing this with someone else? I might as well just do it alone. And it's not because my husband didn't love me or he did anything to me. And it's not because I didn't love him, but because I felt so taken advantage of in our relationship. And it's dynamic. It doesn't happen by accident, right? It's not like my husband did it to me, but we've been raised in this society that tells men and women who they should be in marriages and what it looks like to be a good mom versus a good dad. We know the bar for moms is way up here and the bar for dads is way down here. And we fell into these norms. We fell into these.
No, that's not true. First of all, what she said was a lie. Let's rewind what she said real quick, and I'm gonna just dissect that part real quick. She says, and we know the bar for moms is way up here. Hold on, let's put it back right here.
Mom versus a good dad. We know the bar for moms is way up here and the bar for dads is way down here.
No, that's not true. That's not true. We all know we all know that's not true. Because we already know if a child ends up messed up in life, child doesn't end up succeeding. And if he was raised by a single mom, what they gonna say? Where's the dad? The child ends up succeeding, mom gets all the credit. A single dad doesn't have the excuse of the mom not being there. You know what I mean? He doesn't have the excuse of the mom not being there. That's why the kid didn't end up right. They're gonna be like, well, you had primary custody, you had the child. Why is the child not doing well in life? A dad has to bat 1,000. The mom can end up being a crackhead, being on drugs, and the child will still give the mom a pass. The dads never get a pass. So I don't know what she's talking about in terms of the bar is up. What did she said the bar for the dads are low, but the bar for the moms is high. No, that's actually the opposite. Just take child support, for example. Lawyers will tell you that they got to twist the man's arm to ask the mom for child support. Say if the mom makes more than the man and he has the opportunity to take the mom to child support, they say most men don't take the mom to child support, but most it's almost like 90% at a 90% clip. Most women are going to put their man on child support if given the opportunity. So we already know that what she said right there is false.
And we fell into these norms. We fell into these roles in our family, despite the fact that we never wanted to. And I'm lucky, and I say lucky because I have a partner who I know loves me and wants me to be happy and was willing and able to change. And so we.
And by the way, any bitch calling you partner, she don't respect you. Like I would like. There's no way in this this whole partner stuff. I don't know what they be talking about partnership. There ain't no partnership. Like I'm not your gay lover. This is terms that you use for that they used to be used for people in the rainbow community. So remember back in like the 2000s where it'll be like a guy who'll say, "Oh, this is my partner Brad," or a girl will say, "This is my partner Amy," right? And that was code. That was code for the normies. Normies use that as a code for, "Oh, this is their gay lover," or "This is their lesbianist lover," right? Or girlfriend or boyfriend, right? Because at that time, as during that time, in a lot of places, rainbow people couldn't get married legally. So they would call them, "This is my partner," "This is my living partner," right? So, but now women have adopted a lot of these terms, a lot of these, verbiages from the rainbow community, and they don't even understand. And they still don't understand the consequences of using these verbiages, these terms. It just doesn't match when we talk about man and woman. There's no partnership. I bet you the man is making like way more money than her. I bet you.
And was willing and able to change. And so we did the work to figure out what equity looks like in our relationship. And I can tell you now, 3 years later, that we are happier than ever. Our kids are thriving. Our home runs like a well-oiled machine. And that took a lot of work. I want to say it took like 18 months to get there. And it was well worth it. But it is not uncommon.
And I'm pretty sure it basically turned into he ended up having to take over all the household duties while she does her social media thing. I bet you that's what because that's literally what it ends up having to take, where the guy ends up having to do his job and then the household duties, because she really doesn't want to do. She feels above the slight work that she complains about, even though it's really at her level.
And so if your wife is coming to you and she's saying, "I'm burnt out by the mental load and I need you to do more," she's not just saying that because she wants you to do more chores. She's saying that because truly it can hurt your relationship. It can ruin your marriage if you do not participate in an equitable way in your home. And so what does that look like? What does it look like to change these dynamics?
It's interesting that in this road bump in the marriage, even after saying he was good, he was doing this, he was doing that, she still didn't mention what she did to make things better. The only thing that she did was talk about what he needs to do. But what did you need to do? This is why these marriage dynamics, especially nowadays, is way lopsided. It's way lopsided.
But we need to really assess in our homes what the work looks like. Because in most homes, the data supports this, women do a disproportionate amount of work. They just do. They do more of the cooking and the cleaning and the laundry and the childcare while also working full time. And men have more time for things like their hobbies, like golf, for example, or just work.
Oh, Lord have mercy. They still on that shit. First of all, that's a lie. And if you hoes listening to, she's a page turner, don't be shocked when your man is like having like an affair with like the secretary or the young 23-year-old at the job, because this is not it. This is not it. First of all, she's full of caca. We all know, especially nowadays, men are doing way more than men of the past. Way more hands-on with the kids. Way more hands-on when it comes to even household work, chore work. Even the therapists will tell. I've shown you clips of therapists where they're telling you, no, men are doing like way more of that stuff now, but women are complaining more. I've shown you female therapists that have come on the social media and said, nah, I think some of these ladies they're doing too much. You don't believe me? You can look it up.
Working out, running a marathon, right? And so we need to have hard conversations about what our time looks like, what our labor in the home looks like, what is invisible labor. We have to talk about these things. And when we don't, the alternative is that you no longer have a marriage, or you don't have a happy one, at least. And so
sounds like a threat for me, in my opinion, but that's a whole other issue.
Share this story because I don't think I'm alone in this experience. And I want people to know that there's hope, and that if you have a willing and able partner, you can change this. You can absolutely change this dynamic.
And there's a lot of hoes that be following this bitch too. And men, I want men to understand, you guys, it's actually cheaper if you hire a maid. Because watch this. You'll have your wife and then you'll pay her, right, for her fine, we'll take you at your word. We'll pay you for your invisible labor work. Okay. We'll put you on a 1099, one of these things. Oh, It's taxes time. It's time to take. But no, I just want. Guys, it's easier to just. It's cheaper to hire a maid. You might as well just hire a maid. Don't have the bitch there because she's clearly doesn't want to do her job. She doesn't want to do her part. And this is where, because I'm pretty sure what it turned into, he ended up having to do all of the stuff. Basically damn near all of the household work while she still does her social media stuff. And he does his full-time job just to keep her for just so she can stop complaining about nothing. I'm pretty sure that's what it turned into, because this happens to a lot of men. They just end up having to take over basically everything. Because it's always gonna be what did L's baby father say? It's like an invisible. You're always gonna have this invisible this chipmunk just just this invisible chipmunk just annoying you the whole time, complaining about nothing. You know. But anyways, let me know what you think in the comment section. Please like, share, and subscribe, and thank you.